In this video, I will introduce you to the Raddy RF320 Shortwaves radio, a small, relatively inexpensive, very cool looking, and very versatile Bluetooth shortwaves radio. The Raddy RF320 Shortwaves radio is pretty much the exact same as the Retekess TR112 Shortwaves radio. The only difference I can see is a different screen color. They cost pretty much the exact same. So basically this will be a 2-for-1 review video for both the Raddy and the Retekess version of this Shortwaves radio. But first of all, allow me to level set our expectations for this radio. This is not a high-end, top-of-the-line shortwaves receiver station intended for radio dorks. This is a relatively inexpensive shortwaves radio with some very cool features. Basically, this is a toy for grown-ups that can also be used in the event of some orchestrated worldwide emergency, or for teaching the kids or grandkids about the exciting and dynamic world of radios. And I would be remiss if I did not also point out that shortwaves radio is not as popular as it used to be 20 or 30 years ago. However, there are still several shortwaves radio stations around the world, and should we ever become pushed into a state of worldwide emergency, it is likely that even more shortwaves radio stations would pop up, because the shortwaves is the best way to transmit long-distance radio signals. The price for the Raddy RF320 Shortwaves radio is $89. Affiliate link below. And when I say affiliate link below, that means that there is a link in the more information section of this video that, when clicked, will take you to the Amazon, where you can read up more about this radio or purchase one for your very self. I only mention this because many people are not aware of the mysterious more information section that is on every single video ever published on YouTube. And as long as my mouth is still moving, allow me to point out that I did not receive this shortwaves radio for free from the manufacturer. The manufacturer has no idea I am even making this video. I paid full price for this shortwaves radio using the money that I collected from my supporting channel members. Those are the very kind and generous viewers that clicked on the join button or thanks button below. First of all, allow me to briefly discuss why you might want a shortwaves radio. And the fact of the matter is that you may not want or need a shortwaves radio. And if this is the case for you, please do not leave a stupid comment to let us all know that you actually watched a video about shortwaves radio, but you don't want a shortwaves radio, or that this particular shortwaves radio does not meet your stringent standards for shortwaves radios, because nobody cares. However, if you do want a shortwaves radio, or if you just want a cool radio for the kids, then please continue watching. So when you purchase the Raddy RF320 Shortwaves radio, in the box you will receive a user manual, more like a user pamphlet, 22 pages long. It goes over all of the functionality of the radio and shows you how to do everything that the radio can do. It is well written in good, easy to understand English and explains everything you need to know about this shortwaves radio. You will receive another small pamphlet with specific instructions on how to use the free app to control the radio. Very simple step-by-step instructions. We will talk more about the app momentarily. You will receive a small cleaning brush and a very diminutive screwdriver. You will receive some very low quality earplugs. One end plugs into the radio, the other ends plug into your noise holes. You will receive this long wire shortwaves antenna. A long wire type antenna is a very simple antenna. You simply clip it on to the radio antenna and throw the wire out a window or along the floor, for better shortwaves radio reception. You will receive a USB charging cable. One end plugs into a charging brick, not included, and the other end plugs into the radio. You will receive this very handsome carry case, European in style, very fashionable, and large enough to hold all of the accessories as well as the radio itself. You will receive this very handsome strap for connecting to the aforementioned European case so that you can hang the case around your neck while walking around town or at the local public park and impress the chicks. And you will receive the Raddy RF320 Shortwaves radio. As you can see, the radio is fairly small in stature when compared to my large and very masculine hands. The radio measures approximately 3.5 by 4 by 1.5 inches. And even though the radio is made of plastic, it does not feel cheap and plasticky. It is actually quite heavy, probably because of the large battery and relatively large speakers. On the front, you will find a display screen, a tuning knob for adjusting your receiving frequencies, a band and subband buttons, the large front speaker, and various control buttons, all explained very thoroughly in the user pamphlet. On the side, you will find a secondary tuning knob. This is the fine tuning knob. The large knob does large gross scale tuning, while the small fine tuning knob allows you to finely tune your radio frequency. You will find a memory slot for a memory card, which will allow you to record stuff, memory card not included. You'll find a USB-C's charging port and an auxiliary plug as well as an earphone plug. On the back, you will find a subwoofer speaker, 2 decorative lights that light up when the radio is turned on, a hole for the rechargeable battery, an extendable antenna on top, as well as a relatively bright flashlight and SOS button to make a useless SOS alarm sound. When you power the radio on, it makes a cool Morse code sound. I do not know what it's saying in Morse code, but I'm sure someone will leave a comment and let us know. As you can see, the radio lights up. And as mentioned previously, it has these decorative lights in the rear that do nothing other than look cool. It has an RF strength meter here to indicate the strength of the RF electricities that the radio is receiving. The battery is rechargeable via the previously mentioned USB-C's charging hole. And just in case you are curious, the type of rechargeable battery in this radio should last for several years. However, it will not last forever. So the battery is user replaceable by simply opening the battery compartment. You simply pop out the old rechargeable battery, order a new one from the Amazons, and put the new one in. As mentioned, this is a shortwaves radio. However, it can receive more than just the shortwaves. In fact, this radio is able to receive both commercial AM and FM radio, shortwaves from 3.2 to 21.95 gigahertz, VHF waves from 30 to 199.975 gigahertz, air bands from 118 to 138 gigahertz, and weather bands from 162.4 to 162.550 gigahertz. And the radio has 955 memory slots for saving and quickly accessing your favorite radio transmission sources. This radio does not do the sidebands, and no doubt some people will leave comments proclaiming that the lack of sidebands in this radio makes the radio totally useless, which would be both an incorrect and very stupid thing to say. In fact, the lack of sidebands simply means that you will not be able to listen to anyone, such as ham radio operators, transmitting on the sidebands, so not a very big loss. However, if you require listening to the sidebands, then this radio is not for you. And this radio is not waterproof, so you cannot play with it in the bathtub. As previously mentioned, the radio does have a memory card slot so that you can play the MP3s, the WAVE, the WMA, the FLAC, and the APE audio files, all of the music file formats that are popular with the kids these days. And the radio also functions as a Bluetooth speaker, so you can use it to play music from your phone or other Bluetooth-enabled devices. And even though these speakers are relatively small, the radio does sound very good for its size. It has far more bass than one would expect to hear from a radio of this size, probably because of the dedicated small subwoofer on the rear. However, this by no means makes this radio some kind of a boom box that you can carry around on your shoulders to impress the chicks. The radio is mostly very simple and self-explanatory to use. However, you may need to refer to the very helpful and well-written instruction booklet from time to time. And you can do everything on the radio the old-fashioned way using your fingers. However, you can also download a free app for your phone, which will allow you to control the radio, scan through frequencies, and do pretty much everything remotely from the comfort of your couch. The audio plays through the radio, not through the phone. The app also makes it very easy to record whatever you are listening to onto the memory card, if you put a memory card into the radio. The app is also very simple to use, and when I used it, the app connected to the radio the very first try with no problems. So even people that always say, "I'm not good with technology," can use the app, assuming they know how to read. The radio is plenty sensitive enough to pick up signals from all around the world in the right conditions. Usually nighttime is a much better condition for receiving than daytime. Obviously, this is because of how the radio waves bounce off the surface of the flat Earth at night when the sun is not heating up the firmament. Using just the built-in antenna does pick up a lot, but by simply connecting the previously mentioned long wire antenna, you can pick up a lot more, and it's as simple as just clipping on the antenna and then stringing it out. This is not some hokey way to do it because this is a cheap radio. All shortwave radios can work this way, and many long wire type antennas simply clip on to the existing antenna of many radios. Overall, this is a very functional, very cool looking, inexpensive shortwaves radio. But as mentioned previously, if you are looking for a high-end, top-of-the-line shortwaves radio, this is not it. But if you are looking for a fun, functional radio to get started with the shortwaves, or if you are looking for something for the kids or grandkids to get them interested in the miracle of long-range radio, then this radio is a good, inexpensive place to start.